the last brief update today. I'd like to follow up on a few points I identified in previous videos. Actually, I've completed some of the framework replacement in this corner wall. All of this was rotten here, and I replaced it. I spliced a piece of wood up into there, and then came down, replaced the lower part all the way down into the wall. I haven't worked on the floor yet, as you can see. I want to get a linoleum scraper first, and which will make this job a lot easier. Good thing about this particular section of wall is I've just temporarily fastened it into the floor right now with one screw here and one screw up front there behind the insulation. And what that allows me to do, as soon as I pull those screws out, that section of wall is going to be suspended by the roof, and it will swing right out past the floor. That will make replacement of the floor quite easy, and I'm hoping I'll be able to do the same thing on this corner. As you can see, I am preparing the trailer for replacing the interior paneling. And well, on this side of the trailer it was quite easy to pull the paneling off, wasn't difficult at all. On this side it's a different story, mainly because I got the cupboards up there in the corner. And initially I thought, well, once all the siding is off, I'll be able to access the screws that hold the cupboard to the wall. As in most RV trailers, cupboards are fastened from the outside, in behind the siding, and then through the wall. So you cannot take the cupboards or the cabinetry in general off from the inside. You have to access the screws from the outside and then remove them. So I did that, and I thought that was it. Now the cupboard should come out. Well, wrong. It didn't. It was still hanging by something, some fastener up through the ceiling. And there were a couple of angle pieces and screws that were fastening it to the ceiling from the inside, and I removed those, and still it won't drop off. So, well, what I ended up doing, I pulled the section of plywood, this section of plywood here, which was on top of my roof, right here. You can see how I rolled all the aluminum and the rubber membrane back to access what was underneath. So underneath was this sheet of plywood, and I pulled all of that off. And what I found was that they had fastened the cabinetry inside using small nails through these little nail holes here. Dozens of them, all the way along the top. So I don't know what strength that was supposed to give it. Really none. These nails had really tiny heads, and they would pull right through this plywood paneling quite easily. They were very difficult to get out without damaging the inside. I want to keep my ceiling panels as much as I can, and then just replace the wall panels in the trailer. So without damaging the ceiling panels, to pull those nails out was quite difficult and a tedious task. Well, anyway, as soon as I had those out, then the cabinetry fell out, and then I was able to actually remove it. Didn't do any other damage or anything, but that was sure a little bit of a wow factor here, because I did not anticipate they would use fasteners to that extent to keep the cabinetry in. Especially those little nails are kind of useless. Maybe I can find one of those on the floor. Yep, here they are. Well, that's it. That's what I pulled out. Just a tiny little nail. That's all. Strange. One last thing I'd like to follow up on. In one of my previous videos, I talked about the cracks in the siding above the door here on the back end of the trailer, and maybe now with everything removed you can kind of appreciate what I mean. Just, I don't know if the camera will show this, but just look how there's a bend in the top of the wall, and just follow this plywood member here, this piece of plywood, follow it back, and you can kind of see how it bends at one point, and that point is just that particular 2x4 stud that's comprising the framing of the door. Now I think in this perspective it's really clear. Well, and the reason for this I explained earlier. It's essentially that this back corner of the trailer is drooping due to the fact that, well, the big opening for the door does not constitute a strong point in the wall, and then the floor is not strong enough to prevent this back corner of the trailer from swinging up and down. So anyway, here we are. So I did have some low level of moisture damage up here, and that is simply due to the fact, I think, that between the siding, the roof metal, and the rubber membrane, between none of those was any butyl tape, and I do not know why. Up top in the bedroom section, further to the front, there was some, but not back here. So this entire plywood piece here is in various states of deterioration. It's not completely rotted out yet, but you can tell it has seen a fair amount of water, and since the screw holes here are kind of stripped and the screws were quite rusted, I am going to replace this. It's not going to be that difficult to replace, but I'll do it now. So in general, this side of the trailer had less issues than the other side. You can kind of see up front. I'm going to get off the ladder here and I'll show it to you. Same issue here as on the other side. Right where the roof bends upwards, there was a constant leak. The wood is quite deteriorated. However, this leak was not strong enough or for a long enough period to compromise the rest of the wall. The wall is a little bit discolored in places, but that is also due to actually road dust coming in through the fridge opening. So other than that, this side of the trailer is in really good shape. There are no issues other than the back corner with the floor. Unlike the other side, where I explained the issue with the battery box, this front corner is really good. Right? No really big issues here with water or rot or any other damage. And here obviously, well, the problem with the battery box will be addressed. Same here. You can see how this is much more deteriorated than the other side, and actually compromising the 2x4 wall piece down here. So anyway, that's my update for today. I'm done working now. I'll close this. I'll close it up and then have supper. Okay, thanks for watching.